much of the response to the coronavirus has been trying to keep the virus from hopping from nation to nation. That's happened with varying degrees of success across the globe. But a tall order at a border like ours, not only is our border between the U.S. and Canada packed with trade, it's also packed every day with workers who live in one country and are employed in another. Let's talk about what's happening in Windsor and Essex County with their medical officer of health, Dr. Wajid Ahmed. Dr. Ahmed, thanks very much. Really appreciate you spending some time today. At my last check, we had more than 500 cases in Windsor, Essex County, a little more than 30 deaths. But studies are showing us that about a third of the cases that you've had there are people who work in Michigan, right?
That is correct. That was the understanding that we had based on the interviews that we do with all the cases. It is shifting now, though. Initially, most of the cases were those healthcare workers that worked in Michigan. Now we have local transmission happening in our community, and we are seeing some of those cases in our community as well. So the number may not be as accurate as of today, that all the 500 cases, 1/3 of them are from workers that are in Michigan.
And we have so many Canadian healthcare workers who make a lot of the medical work that goes on this side of the river possible. But what do you do about that hopping back and forth across the river, given that we have asymptomatic passing of this virus?
Well, that's a good question, and I think that's the part that we are trying to balance the risks of again them going into the to Michigan and providing care to that population and their workplaces, and then coming back to Canada on our side and ensuring that we are not putting our community at the risk, because obviously it's all based on exposure, right? So if they're getting their exposure in a community where there are more transmission happening, there are more cases, their exposure risk is high. And when they're coming back here, if they go on in our community without taking appropriate precaution, then the community could be at risk too if they end up developing the disease. So that conversation has been ongoing, and we put out several recommendations to try and limit the likelihood of spread in our community and also continue to provide the care. Because all these healthcare workers, they know that they have a duty, they have an obligation to provide some of this care to their patients. And I commend them for doing their job. They really understand the risk, but they still want to do that, and I support them in doing it. What we are trying to figure out is, when they're coming back, we put out some recommendations for them that, maybe what you need to do is you do a work-home self-isolation piece. And that would protect them and their family and the community to limit the spread of disease if they end up getting it.
Well, that's part of why there was such a worry over what kind of workers were going to be allowed to go back and forth, because a lot of Detroit hospitals rely so much on Canadian work power. Do you believe there's been enough coordination between Canadian authorities and American authorities, given our very unique situation here in Detroit and Ontario?
Honestly, I don't think so. That happened as much as I would have expected it to be. Yeah. I do speak to the Detroit Public Health Department, and we have a number of issues that we communicate with each other pretty regularly. But I think from the hospital side of the things, maybe the hospitals are talking to each other, but the hospital conversation never happened with me. And I think what happened at the authorities or at the federal government level is also something that I raised that issue with the our MPs from our region, equivalent to your representatives. So that issue was brought up all the way to the federal level, and some conversation happened. I only see the result. I was not part of that conversation. Yeah. I'm sure that it was taken, all the actions were taken in the best interest of the relationship that we have. Like people who live in Windsor, Detroit is like our city, it's the same city. All of us, we go across the border every day, or most of us cross border every day. And it's not that we are against any community or any city or any country. And I think it's our job to be standing together. This is a fight that everyone is fighting, and we should be standing there. But obviously, you don't want to send your troops in a battle if they're not prepared and if they're not taking the precautions that they should.
Well, I'm with you. It is such a unique situation we have, unlike not too many places in the world that have the relationship that Detroit and Windsor have together. And hopefully we can get back to that time when people are coming from Windsor over for ball games and we're headed the other direction for restaurants and everything that Southern Ontario has to offer. Doctor, I really appreciate your time, and thanks for that this morning, and stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
You
Bye
bet.
now.
One quick note now before we leave this morning. Last Sunday morning, we brought you Jeff Daniels' terrific song tribute to Al Kaline. Tomorrow night, the song will get its first public live performance. Jeff is doing a live concert online to raise money for his Purple Rose Theater in Chelsea. Should be a very entertaining evening, always full of stories and songs. Online and unplugged live at 7:30 tomorrow evening, and we'll put a link to the concert on clickondetroit.com. Have a safe week. Meet the Press coming up next, right after Mitch Albom's Heart of Detroit. We'll see you next time on Flashpoint.